Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. We are continuing our series of shiurim in the Rambam, Hilchos Melachim. We are presently in Perek Yud, Halachos Zayin and Ches. This is the third shiur on these two halachos. And basically what the Rambam says is that only Zera Avraham are chayiv in bris milah. It's Halachos Zayin, excluding Yishmael, the Zaro, and Yitzchak, the Zaro. And the Rambam writes that only Yaakov and his seed are chayiv in bris milah because he's machzik b'dasa v'darka ha'yishara. He holds on to his religion and his straight path. They're mechuyev milah, and al-ches, the Rambam says that b'nei Keturah are also chayiv in bris milah. The children of Keturah, Avram Avinu took as a wife. So in the first two shiurim, we asked many kashas on the Sugis HaGemara and on the Rambam. And the Siyata Dishmaya, in this year, we're going to break some ground into understanding the principles behind this very interesting and fascinating topic. So the Gemara learns in Masechah Sanhedrin, we learned the Gemara B'Siyata Dishmaya in the first year, that B'nei Keturah are chayiv in milah. This is in the Lishon of Basra of the Gemara. As we learned, the Gemara asks that how come milah, which was said to Bnei Noach and repeated at Har Sinai, is only an obligation on the Jews? Something that was given to the Bnei Noach and repeated at Sinai is an obligation to both Jews and Goyim. The Gemara's first teretz was in Mishnah Kamo that the repetition at Sinai wasn't really a repetition because it was just there, B'yom Hashmini Ol V'Sar, it would be Matir Shabbos, but it wasn't teaching us bris milah per se, and therefore it's not considered a repetition. So Bnei Noach aren't chayiv. And Yibo Yisrael, the Gemara answers that milah was originally given not to Bnei Noach. It wasn't given to Bnei Noach. It was only given to Avram and his zera. And the Gemara says, so if it was given to Avram and his zera, what about Bnei Yishmael? Then we're memayed ki b'yitzchak yikar lecha zara. So Yishmael is out. Sorry. And then Bnei Esav. What about them? They're not Yishmael. So what about Bnei Esav? They also come from Avram Avinu. Ki bi Yitzchak for lo kol Yitzchak. So not all of the Yitzchak, only the Yaakov part of Yitzchak. And then the Gemara says, hey, if what you're saying is true, that Bnei Avraham, Zera Avram are chayiv in bris milah, then what about the Bnei Keturah? Bnei Keturah, and if you say that they're not chayiv in bris milah, and you also exclude Bnei Yishmael and Bnei Esav, he says, Ki Yitzchak Yikari L'chazara, the only true Zera is from Yitzchak, so Bnei Keturah are also out. So Frek Rav Oshaya and the Gemara, L'me'at Bnei Keturah lo use L'chayvu, so let Bnei Keturah not be chayiv. Why are Bnei Keturah chayiv in bris milah if they're not Yitzchak? Bnei Keturah aren't Yitzchak, obviously. So Rav Yossi Bar Chanina says, because it says in Parshas Lech Lecha, Brisi Heifar, and that pasuk, that superfluous pasuk, is marbe. It includes the rabbis Bnei Keturah. So we have the pasuk of as Brisi Heifar, you revoked my bris, and that pasuk is coming to include the Bnei Keturah. So the Guf Rosh HaGemara, Brisi Heifar, it's coming to be marbe Bnei Keturah. It's mashma that it's a superfluous pasuk, and therefore we darish in this pasuk. And so explains the Tosas Harash, Ba'arichus, Ayin Sham in the parish of the Tosas Harash. And this is shver because it says in Sanhedrin Tzadites Amid Aleph, and in Shavuos Yud Gimel Amid Aleph, Es Mitzvasi Heifar. What is that pasuk referring to? The answer is Mefer Bris Basar. Mefer Bris Basar. This pasuk of Es Mitzvasi Heifar is referring to those who are revoking the bris milah. That refers to a pasuk in Bamidbar, Perek Tezvav, pasuk Lamed Aleph, Kidvar Hashem Bazam, Es Mitzvaso Heifar. You disgrace the word of God and you're mevatel of his mitzvah. Tikaris, that soul will be cut off. So the Gemara says, what is the Es Mitzvaso Heifar? What's that referring to? It's referring to somebody who doesn't do a bris milah. So Rashi in Shavuos learns, what does it mean? It says mitzvah, mitzvah so hefar, his mitzvah. So what mitzvah is that? So Rashi says, mitzvah yichidis, my one mitzvah. What's the one mitzvah? The mitzvah that was given to Avram Avinu. That first mitzvah given to Avram Avinu, mitzvah yichidis. That's Rashi in Shavuos. So that mitzvah yichidis that was given to Avram Avinu, when a person isn't mekayim that mitzvah, so he kares to kares. That's Rashi. However, the Ritva says there that you don't have to say that, because it's referring to as brisi hefar. The pasuk of es mitzvasi hefar is referring to as brisi hefar. So you don't have to say mitzvasi is mitzvah yichidis, that one unique mitzvah given to Avraham Avinu. You can just say this mitzvasi hefar is referring to the pasuk that says similarly brisi hefar. So you know that it's referring to bris. So in Pashtus, Pshat is that he's not doing a bris milah. In the Yerushalmi Perak Aleph of Pei Halacha Aleph, at the beginning of Perak Chelek, the Pshat there is Moshech Bor Lasa, that somebody pulls over his foreskin. He has a circumcision, and then he's Moshech Bor Lasa to make sure that the circumcision is now is covered up. And so too in the Gemara in Yevamos, and they'll find Beis on Aleph, Ayin Sham, from the pasuk of Brisi Hefar. Even though it says in the Gemara it's an Asmachta, Rabbi Yochanan Fisher Perla and the Bir Arasag Onshin Aleph writes that he's not considered an Arel, such a person. In Zeh have a Asmachta. So we have such a person is not considered an Arel if he's Moshe or Lasso. But for that we have an Asmachta that he is considered an Arel if he draws over his Orla. But the Alfusa that we learn, the Limud, that it's Kares to be made for bris, is from that pasuk. As is Muchach in Sanhedrin, and after Mem Dalet Amud Aleph that we learn from the Pesukim on Achan that he was a Moshe or Lasso, and from that pasuk of Brisi Hefar. So writes the Korban Edom, Yerushalmi, beginning of Perak Chelek. So we learn from his Brisi Hefar, it's Yisvaso Hefar, that a person is made for his Moshe or Lasso, is Chayav Kares. We see this also in the Rambam in the third parak of Hilchos Tshuva Halacha Vav, in Parak Gimel Hilchos Milah Halacha Ches, and it's from the Mishnah and Avos in Parak Gimel Mishnah Yad Aleph, also in the Tur and Yoredes and Reish Samach, that Moshe or Lasso Ein Lo Chelek Le'olam Haba. And from this you see that it's an Isser Min HaTorah to be Moshe or Lasso. So what is this all about? This is coming to teach us that that's why we need the pasuk. So now we approach the Rambam and we bow in respect for this great giant of Torah, Yerushalayim, and leadership. And we say to him, but you write that from the pasuk of Brisi Hefar, we learned that B'nai Keturah Chayav and Mila. No! From his Brisi Hefar we learn something very different. We learn that a person is a chayav midoi raisa kares Moshe or Lasso. So Minalan, from where? From Van and Weist is that we're marbe b'nei Keturah. So Rabbi Yochanan Fisher Perl asks this kasha. Mayor Don Plotsky asks this kasha. And they're nitchak to be mitaritz. So Rav Man goes on the following derech. Rambam writes in Halacha Zayin, Yotze Esav Sharei Yitzchok Omar LiYaakov Yitin L'chaz Birchas Avram L'chol Zaracha Mechlal Shu Levado Zara Shel Avram and Machzik V'Doso V'Darko HaYisher. That Esav is excluded because Yitzchok said to Yaakov that I'm going to give you the bracha of Avram to you and to your seed. So that implies that he alone is the Zera of Avram, who is Machzik V'Daso V'Darko HaYishara. And this L'chora is against what's Mavur in the Gemara and Daf Nun Tes, Amud Aleph, that there the pasuk is Memayed Esav from B'Yitzchak v'lo kol Yitzchak. The Rambam says that where is Esav excluded from? Vitin l'chaz berachas avon l'chol zarecha, l'zarecha acharecha, l'chol zarecha. I'm going to give you the bracha of Avram to you and your seed, meaning you're the Zer of Avram, you're holding on to his religion, you're going in his straight path, and therefore you get bris milah. That's where Esav is excluded from. Yeah, but the Gemara says not like that. The Gemara says that Esav is excluded from the pasuk of Ki Bi Yitzchak Ikari L'Chazar. Bi Yitzchak, part of Yitzchak, and not all of Yitzchak. Ein Arch Laner, who notes this? Also, Meir Dan Plotzkin, the Chametz Yisrael, Chavisha Mar Miz Alevi, Ala Torah, Parshas Lech Lecha, in the name of Reb Chaim. So how do you understand that the Rambam is veering l'ch'ora from what the Gemara says? The Gemara says that we learn Memayed Esav from Bi Yitzchak, and the Rambam learns it from the Vitin l'chaz berachas Avram, l'zaracha, l'chol l'zaracha, and you're holding on to his religion, and everybody else isn't, so you only get the bris milah. So why is the Rambam going against the Gemara? So in the Tshuvas Ma'arit, in Chelik Beis, in Archaim Siman Vav, in the name of the Marabach, in the Lechem Mishnah, in the 9th paragraph of the Siddur Melach Chav Aleph, and the Shut Chaim Shalit of the Chidah, and Siman Sadi Vav, they relate to this question, and they say, you're right, Ki Bi Yitzchak v'lo kol Yitzchak, that's true, that we learn from the Gemara, but where do we know Yaakov and not Esav? In other words, there are two shlavim. The first shlav is you have to know it's only part of Yitzchak, and the second shlav is it's going to be Yaakov and not Esav, and in that the Rambam says, I'll bring you a raya that it's Yaakov, because he is the chosen one, because he was the Zoch at the Birkas Avram. And therefore, that's why the Rambam brings this pasuk after the Gemara of Ki Bi Yitzchak. So you know Yitzchak, but how do you know that it's only part of Yitzchak? But how do you know it's the Yaakov part of Yitzchak and not the Esav part of Yitzchak? So for that, the Rambam brings this pasuk. But it's still shver, because Ha'ikar Chasim in HaSefer, that's correct. We're missing the main part. The Rambam should have said first that Lo Kol Yitzchak is included in Zara Shel Avram, and then bring his raya. In Lashon of the Rambam, it's mashma that this is where he starts and this is where he ends. That for this reason alone, it's enough. The reason is because we have this pasuk, Vitin l'chaz berachas Avram, l'chol zaracha. You alone are the seed of Avram, and nobody else, and that's it. But what about the Gemara? Why does the Rambam ignore the Gemara? It doesn't imply, the Rambam's language does not imply that he's building on the hanacha of the Gemara. The Rambam wants us to read Mishnah Torah without looking in the Gemara. The Rambam says, you read my sefer, you get it all. So the Rambam is supposed to be based on the Gemara. So tell us what the Gemara says. Don't make up your own things. Obviously, the Mechila Mikvodo Agada, the Rambam didn't make up anything. The Rambam was obviously, there's a sefer written by Rav Dr. Benedict, Zechron Levracha. Haramam Lo Stiyam in Talmud. It's a whole book to try to prove the Rambam stays firm with the Gemara, even though we know the Rambam seems a lot of times not to. Al-Kapanim, so we have a kasha here on the Rambam. Why is the Rambam going against the Sugya? So we have two kashas in the Rambam in two places he's going against the Sugya. So the Maharsha in Sanhedrin and Tesam Aleph, in the name of the Sefer Paneach Raza, asks from the Gemara in Yevamos. The Gemara in Yevamos and Avkuf Beis Amud Aleph, that in order to be a dayan for chalitza, he has to be, both parents are Jewish. It says, V'nikra Shemo b'Yisrael, it's mashma Yisrael legamre. And therefore, ger is pasul, even though others in Yisrael, look in Kuf Beis Amud Aleph, at the top of the page. So we see from this Gemara, that, you know what Yisrael means? Yisrael means a Yisrael in Gansi. There has to be a complete Yisrael. So even if Aviv Yisrael, if his mother is a Jew, he's the Beseder, who's Yisrael Gamor. Doesn't have to be Aviv Yisrael, Imam Yisrael. But if Aviv Yisrael, if he's again and he converts, then it's no good. Why is it no good? Because he's not a complete Jew. So we see from this Gemara that in order to be, when it says the word Yisrael, Karish and V'nikra Shemo b'Yisrael, in order to be considered Yisrael, you need to be, when it says Yisrael, it means a complete Yisrael. That's what the pasuk means. Kula Yisrael. So why is that strange? The reason that's strange for the Maharsha is because in our sugya, it says Bi Yitzchak, Yikari l'chazar. What does Bi Yitzchak mean? Miktsas Yitzchak. When we say V'nikra Shemo Bi Yisrael, we mean Kula Yisrael. It can't be partially Yisrael. He can't have only a Jewish father. It's got to be a complete Jew. He has a Jewish mother. So if Bi Yisrael means that he has to be a complete Jew, So when it says be Yitzchak, why do we say miktsas Yitzchak? Only a little bit of Yitzchak. It's not only a little bit of Yitzchak. It should mean all of Yitzchak. What do you mean mitzvah? It's only part of Yitzchak. Yikari l'chazara. It should be all of Yitzchak's children are his seed, because we learned that Be Yisrael means Kulo Yisrael. So Be Yitzchak should be Kulo Yitzchak. And the Gemara Darshan is fakir. The Gemara Darshan is no. Be Yitzchak only means partially Yitzchak. So it would appear that it's really true. That Be Yitzchak, we really do Darshan Kulo Yitzchak. What do you mean Kulo Yitzchak? Yitzchak b'shleimusel, and not part of Yitzchak. And what's the shleimus of Yitzchak? And that the Rambam says, you know what the shleimus of Yitzchak is? And this is the Rambam, this is the genius of the Rambam. Everybody asks about how the Rambam threw this. Hamachzik b'doso v'darko ha'yisharei. Asach reid, I'm missing the Rambam, these words of the Rambam. Hamachzik b'doso, it's only one who holds on to his religion and his derech ha'yishar. You say his religion is Torah mitzvahs and darko ha'yishar is midas tovas. So the Rambam writes that only somebody who is machzik b'doso v'darko ha'yishar, somebody goes in the path of Yitzchak, that's the shleimus of Yitzchak. And if somebody is lacking this, then he doesn't have all of Yitzchak. He only has part of Yitzchak, and we need all of Yitzchak. So that's what it means, keep Yitzchak. To exclude Esav is because Esav doesn't have all of Yitzchak, because he's not machzik b'daso v'darko ha'yishara. In the Yerushalmi, Nedarim, Paragim, Halacha Ches, it says that Esav is not included in Yitzchak. Amar Rav Yudin Bar Shalom, Be Yitzchak, b'miktsas Yitzchak. Okay, so we have Rav Yudin Bar Shalom who says, and this would strengthen the Maharsha's kasha, that Be Yitzchak is only part of Yitzchak. Part of Yitzchak is Yaakov. And we have a stira to the Gemara in Yevamos Kuf Beis that Be Yisrael means Kulo Yisrael. But then we have another opinion there that says Beis Trey means two. Ben Shehu Asid Linchol Shnei Olamos. This Be Yitzchak is a son, because Beis is two. This is his son, who is going to be Nochel two worlds, this world and the next world. In other words, according to Rabbi Yudin Bar Shalom, Pshat is Kepashtis Habavli, Ki Be Yitzchak, B'miktsas Yitzchak. Then the second opinion, this is Reish Hey, maybe it's Rav Huna. So he says that the drasha is that it has to be Legamre Ki Yitzchak, that you're Nochel Shtei Olamos. And we can say that's Pshat in the Bavli also. Ki Be Yitzchak, and that only is implying Yaakov and not Esav, because it's Be Yitzchak, it's Beis, that you're completely Yitzchak. What's completely Yitzchak? Beis, you're Nochel Beis Olamos. So, and when it says V'lo Kol Yitzchak, what does it mean V'lo Kol Yitzchak? V'lo Kol Yitzchak means Lo Kol Dehu of Yitzchak. You can't just have a little bit of Yitzchak. You got to be Yitzchak in Ganzen. You have to be Yitzchak b'shleimus. You have to be completely Yitzchak. And that's only Yaakov that the Rambam explained. That's what he says. And he brings the Yalkut Tehillim Parakuf Hey of Yudin B'Shem Reb Shimon Yitzchak v'lo Kol Yitzchak Zeh shemoide b'beis olamos. In other words, it has to be Yitzchak Hashalem, that he's molded in the two worlds, Olam Haz and Olam Haba. So we have in the Yerushalmi Rav Yudin Hedya not like that, but we have other opinions that do learn like that. We have a Chazal, we have a Yerushalmi, we have a Yalkut Tehillim that does learn like that. That Be Yitzchak is completely Yitzchak, and that answers the Maharsha's Kash, obviously. Be Yisrael is Kul Yisrael. Be Yitzchak is completely Yitzchak and not partially Yitzchak. He's completely Yitzchak because he believes he's going to be Nochel Shtei Olamos. In the Tana de Be'eliyahu, Rabba and Parakuf Dalid, the word of Miyalkut itself, Parashas told us, is Zara Shel Yitzchak. Calls him on Shesokayim and Kayim is Hamila. As long as Yitzchak was alive, they were Mekayim B'Smila. In the Pirkei Rebbe Eliezer, Parakuf Tes, it says, Esav Moas B'Mila. He despised the Mila just like he despised the B'chor. Ayin Sham. Min Adin, he was Potter. So Pshat is that there's no special Gzeirus HaKosov to patter him. Rather, if you would be Machzik B'Daso Shel Yitzchak, then Esav would be Chayiv. So we have Mamish Chidish Mechudash. We should then Medav Tanzim. We should be dancing on the ceilings. That's what we should be doing. We should be dancing on the roof. Because we have a Chiddush now that really Be'emes Esav could have been Yitzchak if he would just been in Machzik B'Daso. So B'Chaye Yitzchak, that held from Zich, he held of himself that he was Machzik B'Daso, and therefore he was Chayiv in Mila. But then he was Moes B'Mila, he was Moes B'Bechora. He was Porek Ol Ados. He was an OTD, went off the derech, and that's it. Now he becomes Pater. And now he's Taka Pater from Midrash of Bi Yitzchak V'lo Kol Yitzchak. Because you're not all of Yitzchak. Yitzchak is somebody who's following completely in his way. So it emerges according to this that the union of Bi Yitzchak V'lo Kol Yitzchak is that Zera Yitzchak are only those who are Machzik V'briso. In other words, they're Machzik B'Yahadus. They're Machzik B'Yahadus. And we can answer with this the Kasha of the Maharit that we mentioned earlier. Chaim Siman Vav, Mogen Avram, Tov Kuf Tzadi Aleph Sivkot Zayin, Shuvas Shvus Yankiv, Chelik Gimel Siman Mem Gimel, the Shiarei Korban in the third parak of the Dharm, Halacha Ches, and in the Shuvas Chasam Sofer in Arachaim and Siman Kuf Samachet. That from the pasuk of Bi Yitzchak V'lo Kol Yitzchak, we see that Esav is not Zera Avram. But how do we know that he's not included in Zera Yitzchak? Because who's God talking to? God is talking to Avram. And it says, Ki Bi Yitzchak, Yikari L'cha Zara. Bi Yitzchak, only Bi Yitzchak you're going to have Zera, meaning Yaakov and not Esav. So that's Avram Zera. But maybe Esav is still Yitzchak Zera. How do we know he's not Yitzchak Zera? You see in the Mefarish in the Darim, in the pasuk Bi Yitzchak V'lo Kol Yitzchak, that Esav isn't considered Zera Yitzchak. How does he know that? So in the Maharit and the Magen Avram, they ask from the Gemara in Kedushin that discuss whether Esav gets a Yerusha from Yitzchak. Because the pasuk says, Rabchia bar Avin, Amr Rabbi Elchonon Ehrman, Dvar Torah. L'siv ki Yerusha Esav Nasati is Har Sayer. Esav gets Har Sayer as a Yerusha. You see in the pasuk that Esav Yarshin Har Sayer. And the Gemara says, no, but Dilmi Yisrael Mumr Shaini. Maybe Esav, Dafka, because he's Yisrael Mumr, and therefore he is related to Yitzchak. So asks the Maharit and the Magen Avram, but he's not Zera Yitzchak. Right? Like we saw before, that's the Mefarish in the Dharm, Lamed Aleph from the base, he's not considered Zera Yitzchak. But the Gemara seems to say that he is. He's Yisrael Mumr, so he should be Arshin. So it would appear that it says in the Tosfos, in Yevamis Chav Beis Amid Beis Diva Maschil Ben, and Bava Basra Kuftas Vav Amid Aleph Diva Maschil Ben, that Zera is mashma kosher. And they bring from the Sugi in Kedushin, Davdalid Amid Aleph there it's mashma Zera means kosher. Masha Ein Ben. Ben doesn't have to be kosher. Zera has to be kosher in order to be considered Zera. Now, Linyan Ben HaBen, the son of the son is considered Zera, but is not considered Ben. So when it comes to Zera, you're only Zera if you're kosher. When it comes to Ben, the person's a Ben even if he's not kosher. But when it comes to a Ben HaBen is included in Zera, but it's not included in Ben. It's Ayin Sham and those Tosfos. So what's the Pshat? So the Pshat is Tif. And that is that Ben is Hagdarat Yachas Beino Lebein Aviv B'meshehu B'no. It defines the relationship between he and his father. He's his son. That's a Ben. Ben is that I am the son of my father. Zera hu Hagdara B'devar Hanolad Shu Chelek Mimolido Kizar'o. Zera is defining something born, that he is part of the person who gave birth to him like his seed. Because that's what the seed is. The seed was part of the person, was part of the father. And then Zera is a hemshech of the father. He's part of the father. He walks around stamped on his DNA 1,000,000 times his father. So Ben HaBen, that's not a Ben. That's a different Yachas. Ben is, I'm my father's son. If I'm Ben haben, then I'm not my father's son. Then I'm not his son anymore. I'm not Ben. I'm somebody else. I'm a grandson, but I'm not Ben. But Zera means chelek mimenu, part of him. And that also applies to a grandchild. Because you're also carrying your grandparents. We're also literally part of our grandparents. So that's the zera. And that's passed down. That's obviously, we're talking biologically. But as we'll see in a moment, it also counts spiritually. So Ben is only Ben, not Ben haben. But zera is as long as you have a chelek in the father, you are chelek from the part of the father. And if the son is part of the father and the grandson is part of the son, so then the grandson is also part of the father. And it continues like that. Therefore, even a grandchild is considered zera, because you're considered zera if you're part of the father. The son is considered part of the father. He's only growing from the seed of his father, and then the son is from his seed, which is also from the grandfather, obviously, because he's part of his father, who's part of his father, so A equals B equals C. And therefore, C equals A. You can't call somebody zera if he's puzzled. He's a ben, tachlis, he's his father's son. But he's not zera. Because zera means he's not like him anymore. So he has the DNA, but he's not like him. He veered from the path. When it comes to seed, if he's not like him, then he's not considered a seed anymore. And if so, the Yitzchak she'amar yikar lecha Zara ki v'Yitzchak yikar lecha Zara v'gam es ben amal l'gais imenu ki zara chahu. Right, so when it comes to Yitzchak, we require Zera. And who's going to be Yitzchak's Zera? Only those who are like Yitzchak. Remember, we defined Zera means that you're like the father. And if the kid veers from the spiritual path, then he's not a Zera anymore. He be Yitzchak. You have to have the shleimus of Yitzchak. The spiritual shleimus of Yitzchak, then you'll be Yitzchak. If he doesn't, then he's not the shleimus of Yitzchak. He's not considered Zera. And therefore, Esav is taka, not part of Yiddishkeit. He's Yisrael Mummer. He's considered an apostate Jew. He's Lav B'doimelo. He's not similar to Yitzchak. And therefore, he's not considered Zara. He's not considered Zara Shel Yitzchak. Umimela. He's also not considered Zera Avram, obviously. Because he's different than both of them. So therefore, he cut off the chain. Because we're talking about his Yiddishkeit, and he lost it. So therefore, he's not Zera anymore. That's changed Zera. But Ben is also the Psul. Ben is considered a son even if he's puzzled. And Yerusha is totally the Ben. And that's why in the Gemara in Kiddushin, it says that he's he Yarshins out Ben. Is he Zera? No. But he's Ben. So here we have again a mind-blowing figure. The difference between Ben and Zera. Esav is a Ben, but he's not a Zera. Zera, he went off the path, but a Ben remains a Ben. Because Esav is only Memuat, he's only excluded from Zera, but not from Ben. That's what the Gemara in Kiddushin says he's Zera. It says he gets a Yerusha because he's Ben, but he's not Zera. this, we can explain the perplexing Ramban in his Perish ala Torah. Parashas Devarim, Perik Beis, Pasuk Dalet, and the Pasuk, Atem oivrim begvul achechem b'nei Esav. You are passing by the border of your brother, the sons of Esav. So, the kicked from Pusik, you look at the Pasuk, and the Pasuk kicked from here, and I don't understand the Pasuk doesn't understand me. Esav's my brother? With such brothers, you know what I mean? This is not a good family relationship. Esav's my brother, this is what the Pasuk says. The Ramban was bothered by this. The Ramban says, "V'tam achechem b'nei Esav, sheyichus Yisrael min Avram b'chol zarachov." The yichus of the Jewish people is from Avram and all of his seed after him. Kikulam nimolim, they're all circumcised. Zetam lo sasai v'domi kiyachichu, and that's why it says, "Do not abominate." And Edomi is your brother. Only b'nei Yishrael and b'nei Apilakshim, says the Ramban, they're not ba'achra. Yitzchak yikari l'chazara, so they're out. B'nei Yishmael and b'nei Apilakshim, but Esav is still in. Chasim Sofer and the Tshuvas and Even Ezer and Simon Peiches and Archaim Kuf Samachei and the Chemes Yisrael Islam Beis. They say, what are you talking about, Ramban? They're both Pater Mimila, like we see in our Sugya, Ramban ala Torah Parshas Lech Lecha. So how can you distinguish between the Bnei Esav? They're still brothers, and Bnei Yishmael aren't. No, they were both knocked out of brother. Neither of them are brothers. We don't need such brothers. However, Das HaRamban in Yevomis Menvov and Beis is Kedas Rashi that Bnei Keturah are Pturim Mimila. Rashi holds only the sons of Avraham were Chayiv and Mila, and afterwards everybody was Pater Mimila. Kibi Yitzchak is Mafkia all of them. That's the Ramban says also in his Perish Dvarim. But that's a hafkah that they're not included in his sons. And they're not Shaykh to Bris Milah. But the pasuk of, so that's the pasuk of Kibi Yitzchak. Kibi Yitzchak is mafkia, everybody's out, meaning Shmuel's out, and the Bnei Keturah are out. All those seeds, just the Bnei Keturah, Avram's own children were Chayiv and Mila, but everybody else is out. Yishmael and the Bnei Keturah, the descendants, they are mufka from now, they are no longer his sons. And they're not Shaykh to this Mila. But the pasuk of Kibi Yitzchak, for Lo Kol Yitzchak, is not mafkia the din of Ben. It's only mafkia the din zera. Kibi Yitzchak Harcha Zara. So, when it comes to Yishmael and Bnei Keturah, they're not even Ben. When it comes to Kibi, when it comes to be Yitzchak, v'lo kol Yitzchak, like we said, that's meaning you have to be completely Yitzchak in order to be considered Zera Avram. That's only talking about the actual Zera. It's talking about the din Zera, not the din Ben. What does Zera mean? Zera means that you're similar to him and that you keep Torah. And Esav is out. If they would have kept the Torah, they would have been in. And that's what the Ramban says, Pilei Plos. Kulam Nimolim. In other words, not the Maisa before they were Nimo. Just they weren't Mufka Ba'atzmusa Me'asiba L'Mila. Even though the Maisa, they don't have Mila Machmas She'en Machzikin B'dos. They're not holding on to the religion. Yachinami. They don't have Mila out to that. But Ba'atzmusam, they're still Shaykh to Bris Mila. And that has nothing to do with Achva. Because you know what Achva is Taluyim? Din Ben. And Bnei Esav have a din Ben. So therefore they are brothers. They just don't have a din Zera because they were mafkir themselves from Zera. Because they're not going on the path. But they're Nimolim, meaning in principle they could be Nimol. They just would have stayed on the path. When it comes to Yishmael and the Bnei Keturah, they're completely out. They're Mufka Legamre, Mufka Mikol Yachas. And they also don't have Achva. When it comes to Bnei Esav, it's a different story. We have Achva. They're still considered a Ben. They're just not considered Zera. And they're Nemolim, because if they would have stayed on the path, they would have been Chayiv and Mila. So in principle, they're Nemolim, whereas Bnei Yishmael, he didn't have a chance. So that's Mamish Pilei Plos. And with this, we can go weiter, and I hope we do in future Shiurim. But we can go weiter for Alakashas from Shagas Aryeh and see the flows Mitaris Hashem in the Ramban. So I hope HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us the Koach and the Moach and the Simchas Chaim, and we're able to continue La'ela in the Sugya, and Leroy's Neflos Mitaris Hashem. Amen v'amen. Shalom, shalom, sweetest, most beloved friends.